Hello, welcome to the Widow Strong podcast, where widows are stronger together. My name is Michelle Poremski, and I'm here today with my amazing, wonderful warrior widow friends. And we just want to share with you some of our strategies. Some of us have been widows for only a few years. Others of us have been widows for longer. And I just remember when I first became a widow, I really wanted a group of women who had been on the journey to give me help, hope, and healing. So that's what we want to do for you today. So welcome, and let's get started with the podcast. First, let's start with the introductions. Katrina, let's start with you.
Okay, so I'm Katrina, and I lost my husband 10 years ago in a tragic accident. He drowned while my family and I were on vacation. So it's kind of my background. I am now, my daughters are 20 and 19. I'm a working parent, and I am also in the reserves, the military reserves. So I'm juggling a lot, and it's a challenge finding that time to take care of me.
And you're a strategist, aren't you? That's your gig, man. I mean, she's
Yes.
downplaying it, but you are a hardcore strategist as your job.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's go to you, Melissa.
Hey, I am Melissa Bentley. I've been widowed for 2 years, right at 2 years. I just passed the anniversary mark last week, so it's fresh. I have 2 kids. My girl is 11 and my boy is 9. And I have chosen for the time being to stay at home with them. So I am with them all day and all night. And no one comes home from work to relieve me. But it's great.
All right. So, Tiffany, share with us your story.
All right. So I am Tiffany. I was widowed 11 years. It's been 11 years. I have 2 sons, 19 and 17. One will be 18 this year. And so I do not stay home all day. I'm self-employed, and I also do several other things. So yes, it's quite an interesting journey, I think, when it's been a little bit more time out.
And your focus is health because you own a yoga studio.
Well, health and wellness is always been my focus for a very long time. I have a health and wellness business. I do focus on yoga, health and wellness programs, and just helping women mainly find balance in their health, find balance in their lives, find balance from stress. And, I have quite a few clients that have chronic disease now, so that's something else that I'm working towards being more helpful in.
Wonderful. And one thing we didn't touch on, you're a former financial planner.
I am. This is true.
That's right. All right. So, hey, my name is Michelle Poremski. I became a widow 12 years ago when I was pregnant with my second daughter. I have 2 daughters. One just turned 12, and the other one will be turning 15 next month in July. And we are survivors of suicide. So my wonderful husband, I'm so thankful for him, but it has been a journey of recovery. And in a 5-month period, I lost my husband. I gave birth to my second daughter, and then my mom lost her battle with breast cancer. And I was just shredded. I had no idea how to move forward. And I used to work in the news and network news, and so I used my research and journalism skills and interviewed a number of health and wellness experts so that I could find the best strategies for myself so that I didn't raise my kids in a house of depression. And then those became a series of books called 180 Your Life, and then out of that sprang our nonprofit, which is the Widows Strong Widows Empowerment Center. So that's our story. And today, yes, so thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about summer strategies. So I've been doing some Facebook Live videos on the Summer of Mom, because I feel like we just run ourselves ragged all year long, and we need to make sure that there's margins so that we can get healthy
Yes.
and restore ourselves, because otherwise you can run for years. Ladies who've been widows longer,
Yes.
am I right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I mean, I say every summer, I'm going to take it down a notch. I'm going to do some creative projects for the summer. I'm going to do all of these things. And then I look up and June is almost gone. And I'm like, I am exhausted.
Exactly.
And so I've added more to my plate because one thing may have been taken off. And I think that's what a lot of women do. We're constantly adding to our plates because we're like, oh, it's summertime. I have more time. I can do more things, right?
Right.
Instead of saying, maybe I need to slow it down a little bit.
Exactly. Or we think if our kids aren't doing every camp and every
Yes.
opportunity, then we're doing wrong by them.
Yes.
You know, that they're not going to become everything that they're meant to be. And in the process, we are like just dragging.
Yes.
So, how was it for you, ladies, when you first became a widow and the summer hit and you were like, oh, wow?
I would say when my kids were younger, because they're 21 and 19 now. But when they were younger, for me I had to plan everything. I was trying to plan activities, plan vacation, plan a big vacation, because we really wanted to I wanted to get their mind off of their loss.
Right.
So it was just, to me, I think I added some unintentional stress to myself, and I wasn't like carving out that time for myself. So everything it was easier for me to focus on my kids, to focus on work, and to fill my life with all these activities and things to do. So I didn't have that quiet time to sit and be like sullen. So, but it catches up to you.
Yes.
Yes.
It'll eventually catch up to you, because you really have to take that downtime, take that time for yourself, and practice self-care. So for me, some of the strategies were, whether it was like talking, having somebody to talk to. And I would say, through meeting other widows through, Kate's Club, or, and then Michelle forming Widow Strong. It just created a community in which, we could bounce ideas off of each other. And then Michelle would be like, hey, I need a girls' night out, or, we need to connect, and, we'll do movie night, we'll do dinner, or we'll do something.
Potlucks.
So it was just planning those events with the kids, so we could multitask and still connect. But also some of those events where it was just the widows, just adults, and then also getting together to talk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was helpful for me.
How about you, Melissa? What was it like your first
see.
summer?
So my husband's death occurred in the summer, in the middle of the summer.
Mine did.
So my first summer was the 1-year anniversary mark.
Yes.
So I had anxiety and some depression in there, and just the angst and the pressure that sort of builds up to that anniversary mark for me. And then once that passed in June, once I got past that 1-year mark, it was a big sigh of relief. Just okay, now we can do some things. Now I can think and function a lot better. But my first summer, I didn't plan things. I did not do a good job. I did the opposite. And so it didn't take very long, a week, 2 or so into the summer, and my kids were bored. And I'm in the leave me alone, I am stressed and feeling all these feelings mode. And so that was hard. So not having the plan was hard. This summer I have a plan, but the pendulum did not go the opposite direction. Thank goodness. I have a good plan. We have some activities, but we have plenty of hours of just chill time and hangout time. That's good. So a typical day, we're out of the house and we have something in the morning. There's something we have to be at in the afternoon. Some evenings there's something, but otherwise it's kind of just wide open after 3-4 o'clock. And that's been good. That's been really nice.
That's
have
great.
to leave the house, have to be somewhere.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
does
been really
help.
helpful.
Can be
It does
stressful
help.
in itself, yeah.
Downtown.
Some days I do feel like I'm just running carpool again,
Yes.
but
Right.
Oh yes.
it's been really good to have some things planned, but not too much.
Excellent. And I know that in the second part of this 3-part series, you're going to share with us a very cool tool that you use. I'm
Just
so
a few
excited.
ideas, yeah.
Yes, I
Just
think
something that's
that's
working for me.
I'm so excited. All right, so Tiffany, how about you? What was it like for your first summer, and what are some cool strategies
My
you do
first
now?
summer was very similar. I lost my children's father to suicide in August, so it was basically like you, almost a 1-year anniversary coming up. But what ended up the blessing for me, what ended up really happening was right after August, in September, I had signed up to get another yoga certification, and so I'm in yoga teacher training like weeks after the event. And what it did for me was it allowed me the opportunity to, like you said, have something that I had to be, somewhere I had to be, something that was completely kind of taking my mind away from what had happened,
Right.
but also giving me the opportunity to really focus on being as present as I could be. And so that really kind of helped. I thought about not going to the training afterwards, but I decided to continue because it was so helpful. Now for the kids, of course, our family therapist at the time suggested that they go ahead and start school. School started a week after the event.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And according to the therapist, it was important for them to have normal activities and to have things that kind of didn't make them feel as if all they could focus on was what just happened. The therapist thought it was a good idea for them to be around their friends, to be connected with other people. So we went to school. Right after, a week after, and then I went to yoga teacher training 2 weeks after. So our first summer ended up being they went to summer camp. They did tennis camp that summer, and they really enjoyed it. They got up, they were able to go with their cousins, and we did tennis camp during the day. We did special activities on the weekends, and then I had finished my yoga teacher training by then, so I was teaching during the day.
So having that physical exercise,
Having
that
that
physical
physical-
movement.
And it really helped me to kind of get centered. You can only take one breath at a time. I had a yogi who would say, you can't breathe into the past, can't breathe into the future.
Wow.
You can only breathe in the present. And so
right.
something about staying focused on one breath at a time kept me from feeling like I was completely falling apart. And it just really helped.
That's amazing.
It just really
That's
helped.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, when I first became a widow, I was terrified of the summer. It happened I lost my husband to suicide as well, and it happened April the 2nd. And then a few months later was the summer, but in June I had a baby. And so all of a sudden I had my daughter who was 2 and 10 months old, and then Sophie was born, and then the next month Arie turned 3, and I brought a nanny on to help us. So we are actually, I'm going to have to go into it in our second session because we have hit our 15-minute mark. But you know what? We've got more to come. So I will share my story in session 2, and then we're actually going to talk about some tools that you can use this summer to help empower your life, create order in your family, and to help you find the margin you need to rest and restore yourself. All right, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to learn more, go to widowstrong.com. God bless. Bye-bye.